All right, Keith. Like, dude, you're the first person to pass under the new exam, first of many. How do you feel right now, dude?
Great relieved, definitely.
That's awesome. That's super good. You also like cat out of the bag. You have a unique experience that's super valuable to everybody out in the world. First of all, I'm super proud of you, by the way. Okay,
Oh, thank you, thank
that
you.
you failed the previous one like a couple weeks
Mhm.
ago, and then you passed it. So you've seen both sides of the fences. So you're basically the most interesting man in the world to a lot of people right now, and we're gonna squeeze it as hard as we can. So, okay, how do you feel that you've passed, dude? Overall.
I feel great. Like I told a lot of people I was taking it, which maybe I shouldn't have, and then I
All right.
failed it, and I was like, no. But everyone's like, dude, we've also failed it, and I was like, okay, let me. I really got to try again.
All right. I love it. I love the chutzpah to go back in there. Now, question on everybody's mind right off the bat: was the one you took like previous exam and this one, was one of them harder than the other?
I think the previous one was harder. I remember, like they're talking about the matching questions, and some people
Yeah.
said they didn't have any. I felt like I had every single matching question in that first one.
All right. You might have got thrown a hard slug. Now, one of the things that you said, we'll talk about later, like the emotions was different. We'll take that later to talk about it. Let's talk about the $1 billion questions to a lot of people. There's like a little bit different structure here. Talk to me about when you got into the exam. What was that little bit of 10 questions that was a little funky that you talked about? Like what was it?
It was a project study, so it just talked about like the project in the whole. Essentially, just
Mm-hmm.
broke it down into different sections, about like five small paragraphs, the entire left side of my screen. Then it just asked questions about like what should you add here, what should
Mm-hmm.
be here. It wasn't too like scenario based until after that, the initial first 10 questions.
Okay, so did you think that that was harder than the scenario based stuff or not harder than the scenario based stuff?
It definitely threw me for a loop.
Okay,
It didn't like click as well because I didn't know quite what I was getting into, which is probably my
right.
fault.
No, that's all
Um,
right. Yeah.
but it wasn't too bad. It's definitely like bearable. They're definitely you can definitely just figure your way through it.
Yeah, it's not too bad, right? And we think in situations and scenarios and stuff like that all the time. Did that help you at all or what?
Oh
What's
yeah,
up?
absolutely.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. That's awesome. So you did 10 questions. You took, how long was the break after that? 10 minutes?
Yes, 10 minutes.
That's kind of weird. It's like, it's like when you're in school and you have like lunch at the beginning of the day, you're like, I don't know what to do the rest of the day. I don't know. So you take like 10 questions, you take a 10-minute break. Then you went on for like, what was it, 11 through 95 or something like that. So a little bit
Right.
longer.
Mhm.
Um, Same kind of question. Did you have any matching this time?
There was about I think I had about three matching.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a little bit less. Like agile, waterfall, hybrid, both sides of the street. Was it an even kind of distribution, or what did you think, dude?
I'd say yeah, it was pretty even. It was a lot more easier to read it and like differentiate whether it's agile or like predictive or waterfall.
Okay, you said like in our pre-call real quick, you said, oh, there's a lot of they were just saying like, yo, this is an agile question, yo, this is a waterfall question, stuff like that. Is that
Yeah,
how it
I'd
played out?
say in total like 80 to 85% of it just said like straight up agile, hybrid, or predictive, and like the
Okay.
other 15 was like you're working in increments.
Yeah. So he
Yeah,
kind of gets you in the flavor. You're like, oh, I know what I'm
right.
doing.
It's a
Like in
lot
there.
easier to figure it out.
Right on. And like everybody in the world is freaking out about AI stuff. Oh my god, I got to be like some computer engineer and stuff like that. Did you like have a bunch of like super complicated AI type thingies or what?
It wasn't complicated. It just replaced like what the project scope was about. Is the project scope's about AI. That's pretty much
Ah,
how they implemented it.
so does this the you can tell me now if this is not the way it is. And so instead of saying like you're in an adaptive project or you're in a construction project, it's like you're in a project using AI. Is that how basically it framed up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you have to fight the robots or anything halfway through or anything?
No.
Okay, good. I'm not ready for that. So sweet. All right, cool. Now, good. We covered the big topics of the beginning. Let's just talk about the other thing. Why did you fail the first one? And you can say, Scott, you let me down. But like, why
No,
did you
no.
fail? Yeah.
Um, I think I wasn't quite sure like what I was getting into. I kind of knew because I took like every single exam prep that you offered, which is like four or five of them. I was just pounding them out.
Yeah.
And then I took the exam and I was reading it. I was like, I have no idea if this is predictive or not. And I was kind of taking up some making an assumption if it was waterfall.
Okay.
And then I kind of just like forgot that like because I would come down to like two answers that are very similar.
Uh-huh.
But like this go around, I was like I like relooked at a few of the courses. And I was like
Hmm.
answer whatever answers like the issue. You have to really look at that in the answer. Yeah.
It's not a
Which
bad idea to start from answer the problem that they have. Like not
yeah.
it's we're not talking high science here, but that's not a bad place to start from. How was like the emotion? Sometimes when they go into the first time, people get a little bit high, like ooh, stressed. Did emotions have anything to do with the first time you took it?
I want to tell myself no, but I think so, honestly.
Okay, that's how did you manage it the second time, dude? Because you didn't wait a lot. You went into it. You just
Right.
hammered away at it. Like, how did you manage the emotions the second time, dude?
I felt like I had a better understanding. Unfortunately, I learned a lot by like failing. That's just
Yeah,
what happened. I was like, oh, I have to look at this. I have to look at that. I understand this now, which I
yeah.
thought I did before, but now I really like could really refine it.
Okay. That's all right. That's good. I mean, I like the fact that you didn't like quit, like because
Mhm.
you just went back at it. You said, "I learned this way. I get back into it," and you were the first dude to jump into the thing. So batting 1,000. Thanks for keeping that average up. So that's awesome. If you had, so we had a bunch of content that like rolling in this week. Nate and the team are pushing it in there. Agile, hybrid, AI junk, all this stuff. But like, is there anything specific that you'd want to tell people about the new exam?
Um, Honestly, like the biggest things were like what I said, because sometimes they'll give you two good answers, but one actually addresses the issue. That
Right.
was the biggest thing that helped me. I was like, oh, I see it. Um,
Okay.
that and honestly, to me, I felt like the new exam was a little more. It was easier to understand.
I mean, there's a sampling bias, right? Because there's only like two different things. We don't know. We can take it again. But
Right.
why do you think it was easier? Just more clear questions, this slug of them, or what?
Yeah, it was. I think honestly, for me, it was just the fact that it said like agile,
Okay.
or predictive, hybrid, and I was like, okay, I understand like what the exact like the objective of this question is.
Okay. And then, so what I'm hearing, and tell me if I'm wrong, I can always be wrong, is that like they didn't throw everything out the window. They're still agile or adaptive. They're still hybrid questions. They're still predictive, waterfall. So the core, like, frameworks are still there, like in super depth. Is that correct or not?
Yes, yes, it's still like just trying to figure out the issue, evaluate or analyze first.
Yeah.
Uh, those things. It's the same. They just worded it differently. You can definitely tell. There's an even amount of like people questions and processes, all that stuff versus like before. You can definitely tell it's a lot more like people questions versus the
Okay.
other stuff. Yeah.
Oh, that's another thing. Yeah, because like we did a video earlier, like they're making the balloon of like business environment kind of stuff a little bit bigger. Did you see that? Like a little bit. I mean, I guess you said from like the lowering the number of people stuff is more just like were there more businessy type questions or requirements
Oh
or
yeah.
stakeholder questions, stuff like that?
Absolutely yes. Yeah.
That's awesome. And you
It's nice
felt
to
prepared
even
for this,
spread.
obviously, or what?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool. What's the philosophy? We haven't pre talked about this much at all, but like you said, like, hey, analyze, understand, solve the question that they're putting on the page. Not a bad way to go about it. Do you have any kind of back of the envelope approaches for how to deal with like the business side of questions or the stakeholders or the customers and stuff like that?
For that, uh, honestly, I took that kind of like the same approach as like just how you taught it and
Yeah,
how I tried to take the first exam.
yeah.
In that like in that way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. Coming like you're trying to get the customers as close to you as possible. You're trying to
Right.
understand. It's a little bit like how you said, "Hey, I failed and I got better through it." It's like every experience that we have with the customer, you're saying like, "Okay, cool. You're upset. What are we going to do about it? You don't
Mm-hmm.
like it? How are we going to get better? Oh, you want to change? Let's follow through the process, whatever it is, product owner, whatever." Was there a lot of times in the past exam, they didn't mention Scrum Master a lot with Agile or adaptive projects. It was always like
Mm-hmm.
Agile project manager, facilitator, project leader stuff. Did you see Scrum Master at all or anything, or is it mostly like Agile project manager?
Actually, yeah, I remember that like vividly. I was just talking about project manager, and I was like, "What should the Scrum Master do?" I was
Okay,
like,
so
"Oh,
there
okay,
were Scrum Master stuffs on the new exam.
yes."
All right,
There
well, that's
wasn't a lot;
awesome.
it was just sprinkled in there.
sprinkled in. All right, I can dig it. Dang, that's pretty good. I mean, this is awesome. I'm going through like a list of things I wrote down. Biggest misconceptions. Was there anything that like, well, you walked in kind of just fresh and just like, let's roll.
Yeah.
Do you think that, I mean, obviously you passed before we even like turn the switch on, like tomorrow for the new exam, whatever. Is there, I mean, why do you think it worked to pass? Like we took the pass exam, you took the course and you passed this exam. What about the content and stuff helped you on the new exam, dude? I know my guys will be asking.
Um, I feel like the approach that I went with it last time, there's like certain I forget there's certain little tips and tricks I had to learn about. Just watch like your YouTube videos. I was like, all right, I definitely
Yeah.
missed that. Um, I think for me, honestly, the biggest thing, which it sounds like silly, but it was like, does this actually answer the problem, the issue?
Yeah.
Because it could
Yeah.
be like that. It's a good like step later on, like an excellent step later on, but it doesn't solve the issue right now.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's at the end of the day, I think a lot of times when we go through this, it's slowing down to speed up in a
Mhm.
sense. It's looking up the real problem. And like you said, solving that real problem. Because there can be lots of project-y type things to do. And it's like, oh, that's cool. Like you said, down the road. But right now, the problem to solve is that's really good. Now,
Mhm.
you said there were still some matching. There was those little scenario things at the beginning. No big deal. Those weren't the most scenario based, right? Those are more just like logic-y and just
Right.
filling in the blanks in a sense. That's cool. AI seemed to be a little bit overblown, but we'll see. We'll see how it plays
Yeah.
out. That's awesome. Who'd you call when you passed, dude?
I told my aunt and then I told you.
Okay, all right, sweet. So I'm in the
Yeah.
top two. Like, dude, I can
Yeah.
dig with that. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, cool. Why were you getting your PMP to begin with, man?
So I'm in the army.
Yep.
And then a lot of my like leaders are all about like project management and all that stuff. Because
Yeah.
I'm a mechanic, but I work in logistics. Like the higher
Okay.
rank I go, so just planning projects out, how we're gonna procure this, how we're gonna fix this building, and all that, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
And I thought it would help out a lot. And now when I'm like every day in the army, when I'm in staff now, and they're talking
Yeah.
about this, that, and the other. I'm like, oh, they go over this in the PMP. If only you knew about this. If only you
Yeah.
knew about that.
That's
Like,
awesome, dude. Well, that's good. And then now that you pass, like, do you have a better perspective when you're looking at projects and talking to people, teaching people and stuff like that? Do you have a different language? Like, are you seeing it play through in your life or what?
oh, absolutely. Like today, someone was upset. Because one of the leaders were upset they weren't getting informed about something. I was like,
Mhm.
oh, like, I can go in like this. You can be in stakeholder register, and we can find out how you want to be informed and this, that, and the other.
That's awesome, dude. Well, that's super good, man. Well, I am super happy. We'll upgrade your account, give you all the PDUs forever, so you don't have to worry about recertifying. And you'll have access to all the new stuff that we're rolling out over the next week or so. And we have the alumni calls coming. So it was really, really great to get your text. I'm super happy for you, super proud. And you're the first dude to pass onto the new exam. So double high fives there. And anything I can do to help you out, just let me know. We'll we'll update your Army account just to show you passed and everything like that. So thank you so much, dude. We appreciate it. Good job.
Thank you for everything.
Adios, man.